you feel like God is against you. Today you feel like the problems you are going through is because of what you did in 1965, what you did in 1990, what you did in the 2000s. And God is saying, no, you are faithful. In fact, in heaven, I'm bragging about your faith. It's not your fault. Don't allow your circumstances to make you think that everything that happens to you is because of your relationship with God. You see, we live in a generation where people think if you pray, you fast, everything is well. Everything will go well with you. No. You will not have challenges. It's a big lie. I was walking in faith. I was not living a wayward life when my wife had a miscarriage. I was praying, I was putting my hands on the stomach in the morning, in the daytime, in the evening, praying. And yet that still happened. Somebody will tell me it's because I was a fake man of God or because I didn't pray long. Somebody will say it's because of something I did in the past. It's a big lie. Today, there are people who feel that way. Some of you, you're on the internet. Some of you, you are here. You love God. You believe what I'm saying. But somehow, because of the things that are happening in your life, in your family, in your children's life, in your business, you are there. God, what did I do wrong? God, what did my family do wrong? If you are a woman, God, what did I do during the pregnancy? God, did I eat the wrong food? God, did I drink the wrong liquid? God, did the doctors give me the wrong medication? God, did my healthcare professional do something? You are asking yourself these questions every day. And I am telling you this morning, the Lord told me to tell you, it's not your fault. It's not your fault this morning. You did not do anything wrong. God is not punishing you. God is not against you this morning. God was not against Job. So understand this from today when you live here. Whatever issue in your life you have this morning that is making you think that it's your fault, I want you to know it's not. That thing that you have, that you even though it's been years, you still want, I wonder what I did wrong. I wonder where this is coming from. I wonder what my family did. If you have confessed the thing, leave it to God. He is forgiving you. And if you don't have the answer, please stop pointing fingers. Please stop pointing fingers to yourself and stop pointing fingers at people. Because I cannot tell you in my background, in my community, in my country, how many people they have called witch that have nothing to do with it. How many people today in America, in Africa, in Europe, they are calling witch? How many people today feel like the reason why they are not prospering is because somebody did something? Huh? If I had $1 for every time somebody said the reason why I'm not prospering is because somebody did something to me, I will be rich right now. I'll be a millionaire. Because people all around the world, they are looking for faults. They are looking for somebody to blame. We are looking. We are just looking. We are either blaming ourselves or blaming others. And you see one of the problems with this, when you blame people, when you look for faults, when we are questioning God and trying to find answers, you can question God all you want. If you like, question him from now till you die. If you don't want, he will never answer you. You will never get the answer you are looking for. You can question him today, tomorrow, next year, 10 years from now. As long as God don't feel like you need to know, you will never know it. You can go to the best prophet. They won't be able to tell you. You can go to the best sidekick, marble man, whoever you want to go, wherever you want to go and find that answer. Until you go to heaven, you will never know it. That's why Paul will say, we prophesy in part. Nobody knows everything. And when you try to find out everything, then the next thing that happens is you will start blaming people for it. People who don't have nothing to do with it. Not only will you start blaming people, you will walk around in guilt, condemnation, and fear because you think it's your fault and you won't be able to live your life. We see in John chapter 9, the man that was born blind. Today, we can easily accuse the Jews about not understanding the scriptures. But we can accuse the Pharisees. But how about the disciples who were with Jesus? They knew Jesus. They saw Jesus. They were learning the character and nature of Jesus. The Bible said that when they saw the man that was born blind, they asked Jesus, Rabbi, why is he blind? Number one. Question number one. See, we always want to know the why for a problem. Rabbi, why? Is he blind because of his parents' sins? Jesus said, no. No. Let's read it so that you will see it for yourself. It was not because of his sins or his parents' sins. Jesus answered, he was born blind so the power of God could be seen in him. In other words, they were saying, Jesus, whose fault is it that he was born blind? Is it his fault? Is it his parents' fault? Just like today, you are wondering, whose fault is it that I'm this way? Is it my parents' fault? Whose fault is it that my child has this condition? Or my son, my daughter has this condition? Is it my fault? You are blaming yourself. And Jesus is saying, no, it's not your fault. Not at all. You see, I love Jesus' response. This does not mean that Jesus was saying that it did not happen as a result of sin. Because sin, like I taught you, I make sure I took my time. Sin entered the world because of the fall of man. Sickness, disease, disability, developmental problems, all of these issues are a result of sin of the fall of man. Adam and Eve failed. But it was not the direct sin of the parents. It was not the direct sin of the man. And this is what you and I must understand this morning. There are some things that are happening to you, your loved ones, your business, the ministry. It's not because of your direct sin. It's not because of the direct sin of your family members or your ancestors. Because most of the time when we are talking about sin, we are not seeing it from the perspective from Adam and Eve. We are seeing it from our perspective. We think it was because of us. And Jesus said no. Then he said, look, it happened so that God could display his power in the man's situation. Now I also want to pause and teach clearly this morning. Jesus was not saying that God caused the problem. Jesus was saying that God allowed the problem so that he could display his glory. Because you see, the problem was going to happen whether we liked it or not because of sin. The difference between God allowing and God causing is like this. It's like saying that when you have a toddler, a child, a baby that is trying to walk, as a parent, you already know that because the child is in a process of walking, you already know because the child is in a process of walking, they are going to fall whether they like it or not. So as a parent, what do? Sometimes, I remember when Michael and Makai were small, when they started, I will stand behind them. So that as they continue in the process of walking, when they are getting ready to fall, I will hold them. Did I cause them to fall? Did I do it? They fell on their own, right? They fell because they were in the process of walking. But I allowed the situation, I allowed them to walk, but I was there to hold them. I was there to catch them. God did not cause what is happening in our lives. The Bible said, hey, He gives us life and death. He gives Adam everything in the garden, but Adam and Eve chose to do what He told them not to do. He did not cause it. As a result of that, man fell. And so God has had a plan from then. Look, I'm going to do what I can to rescue my children. Even in certain situations that are bad, if I allow it, I can still use it. That's why now we know in Romans 8:28, now we know all things work together for the good to those that love God and are called according